Jackson Radio Show.
I don't pay much attention to his tweets. I'll say this for you. He's been one of the best presidents I've served under. And the reason he is he's not afraid to make decisions. He's not afraid to take on the big mouths around here.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. The reason why I find Orrin Hatch's comments about President Trump interesting is because Orrin Hatch is a rhino, and he's been around a long time, and he's also sort of on his way out. You know, he there's no dog in the fight anymore because I don't think there's a whole lot of fight left in the dog. And now you're noticing how he's sort of changing his language. Did you see at the end of that, we was like, what did he call him? You know, he had a name for all the bucket heads. What did he say?
The big mouths around here.
Yeah, the big mouths around here. Good grab, man. Pretty quick. Anyway, so just the fact that he's talking like that, that's a hint. I know it doesn't seem that way. That is success. That is the rhino Republican establishment turning around, taking note, trying to understand what is it that's going on here with Donald Trump. This guy can't lose. Yeah, I said it. Remember during the debates during the primary, and I was one of them. Donald Trump would come out of a debate, and I was like, man, he lost that one. And then the polls would come out, and Donald Trump is at 21%. He was number one. And you're like, scratching your head going, that he didn't win that debate. You know, because remember he had all the mannerisms. He would be like, whatever. Yeah. Shaking his head, interrupting, whatever. It was a litany in what not to do in a debate. Wasn't it? Was it not? Come on, give it to. That's right. Strong J, Kevin. Good job. Yeah, so he would get through the debate and I'd go, he lost. The majority of the politicos, we were like, he lost. Now, you may not be one. I wasn't completely built on substance. It wasn't like, wow, so Lindsey Graham really sounded good during the debate, but he'll be the perfect person. I wasn't basing it totally on that. In fact, I had Trump. I think I had him number 3 most of the time. He was like the third. And he would bump between 2 and 3 depending upon who's. But I always thought Cruz was probably the better candidate in terms of, political savvy, knowing what to do, etc. And I still contend that on paper, Cruz was the better candidate. But I do understand the theatrics of it all. And certainly in retrospect, now that I have, the body of work that Trump has done, I'm going, there was no choice. Donald Trump was a solid number one. Ted Cruz wouldn't have been a fraction as effective as Donald Trump. And quite frankly, neither would anybody else. But the point was, we thought he lost. And he's winning. So why is this shift? Why are we watching these things happen? Why is it that, Schumer and Pelosi have changed their mind on Donald Trump and now they want to have a meeting? Why is it that suddenly Ryan and McConnell were able to get a tax bill through in much the same way as the Democrats did with Obamacare? Now, in defense of the Democrats, they didn't have a majority of the Senate, and they got it passed. So this should have been a lot easier. But the fact is, they finally got it through. Why suddenly do we have this turnaround? Brit Hume tweeted something that effectively said, I was one of the never Trumpers or anti-Trump guys. I don't know what he said exactly, but it was along those lines. And he says, I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. Now I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. I know one of my buddies up in Colorado was a former senator, and he has been writing op-ed pieces for the last year saying, I got to tell you, I was a never Trumper and I am on the Trump train. And when John Andrews jumps on the Trump train, you're going, really? Yes. I mean, you may not know who he is, but he's a bigwig in Colorado politics. He was an anti-Trump guy. And he wrote, this is one of the most polished dudes on the planet. And he wrote a piece saying, I screwed up. My own brother, who told me first time I will not vote Republican. He didn't vote at all. I'm just saying, but because he wouldn't vote Democrat. First time I'm not going to vote since I've been able to vote. And he did not vote for Donald Trump. And so he calls me, I don't know, a couple months, 3 months later and goes, dude, I made a mistake. I talked to him 3 days ago. He says to me, man, this guy is good. I mean, this is the guy that made me a free thinker, made me an independent thinker. And he's going, this guy's good. So that's what we're seeing. And it doesn't matter what the left tries. They're going to try all kinds of trick, whatever. It doesn't matter what they do. Donald Trump is not guilty. He has one agenda. It is to move this country forward. If you look at his policy decisions, holy cow, I don't know how much you're into this type of stuff. It's kind of nerdy. It's wonkish. But talk about really forward thinking. I mean, things that Barack Obama, you could give him 50 lifetimes and he'd never come up with. And as I've said to you guys, the left are afraid of Donald Trump. I'm going to explain that in a little bit more detail in a bit. They're afraid of him. And they better be. They got to be. And, so I want to go back through, and I don't know when we'll do this, but there are a lot of never Trumpers, and I want to get some of them to contact us. Go to kjradio.com, send us a note, or call the show, 844-551-8255. And if you were a never Trumper, let me know. Or anti-Trump, or, just a naysayer of any type. Where are you then and now? I'm curious. Where are you then and now? Because I can't imagine, even with all the negative things. In fact, I think the negative things endear people more to Trump, because if you were a never Trumper and you were concerned about, him pushing the button in Russia or whatever, or not being able to live up to what he said, whatever. And then you get to watch a year in review and you go, you know what, this guy's good. But then you think about all the negative things that were said about him over the year as he continued to perform. And you ask yourself, what did they lie to me about? If they're lying to me now, what were they lying to me about then? So I'm curious. I want to know from, look, I'm not saying you had to hate the guy, but if you weren't in his camp, where do you stand now? If you didn't vote for him, that may make it simple. I'm not talking about in the election, but even better if you didn't vote for him in the election. Where do you stand now? 844-551-8255. I'm very curious, because I'm telling you, I believe Donald Trump. I feel like I do the same thing. I make people who don't understand how to think in the mindset of a winner do exactly that. I think Donald Trump has made America think differently about our circumstances. We no longer apologize for who we are, and we celebrate who we are, which is what we should have been doing in the first place. So I'm anxious. Let me know.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.